And good morning, gentlemen. I see Steve and Jamie already. Rock and roll. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, we've got an interesting little conversation to have this morning, but a little housekeeping up top. We seem to have stalled at 520 subs on YouTube, and it's weird because we've been at 520 for several weeks now, and we keep popping up to 521, and then we might drop back down to 519, and then 20, and then 21, and it just, like, we were on this wonderful steady growth trajectory where we increased our viewership by nearly 100% in a period of just less than a fiscal quarter, which was freaking awesome. And then we just stalled. And I don't think that's you guys. I think that's some kind of algorithmic interference. Do us a favor, guys. Go ahead, if you're watching on Facebook, sub on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, go follow on Facebook.
Rob Aker normally does film reviews. I haven't watched it yet. His most recent video is, is him dissecting what he believes the YouTube algorithm to be.
Yeah, I've watched several of those. Hey, I got some beard in my coffee.
You?
Shit happens. It's part of the wildness. So yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, go follow and like on Facebook. If you're watching on Facebook, go give us a like and a subscribe on YouTube.
And if you're watching on Twitch or Periscope,
hey, thanks for watching.
Thanks.
Go check out Facebook and YouTube, especially if you're on Periscope, because, wow, screw those guys. But anyway,
hey, one other thing real quick. Larry Elder's going to be on Crowder today.
Yeah.
I wonder, is something happening today that would make Larry Elder especially relevant to go on a show like Crowder? I don't know. I don't know.
You know, we could be talking about that election today.
We'll be talking about it probably tomorrow.
The recall election to recall Gavin Newsom is today. And I will not be here for a regular show tomorrow, taking the kids to go play in the waves for a couple of days. Cameron will be fielding the show tomorrow morning and Thursday morning. I will probably try to watch. And if we're feeling froggy, we'll see how that works out. But we're not going to talk about the election much today because all we know right now is that the election is going to occur. Apart from some potential amphibious priapisms that seem to be going on. And let me just, okay, so we were both watching Polytech last night, and they were talking about some stuff. Apparently a bunch of Republicans have showed up to their voting precincts to vote and been told that they have voted already. And in particular, this one precinct said that 70% of everyone eligible to vote in that precinct has already voted by mail-in ballot. And these Republicans are showing up to vote and being told, no, you voted already. There's also this whole thing going on where there's a bunch of Democrats that are complaining that their mail-in ballots have not arrived in the mail, and they're blaming that on Republican shenanigans. So, no matter who wins, no matter how this election goes today, and we may not know an outcome for several days, or we may know before midnight tonight. Who knows?
We should know before midnight tonight, but I would not be surprised if it drags for days and days.
Correct. Yeah, there's no excuse for an election to go unresolved past the day of the election. Anyway, what we are seeing with both sides already making these claims is no matter how this election goes today, there will be cries of fraud and abuse tomorrow. Even without results, we're going to hear, oh, well, these guys cheated and these guys cheated. The only thing that's certain is that if it goes Newsom's way and he doesn't get recalled, then nothing will happen. But if Newsom loses, there will be an investigation into voter fraud.
Which I'm comfortable with. Let them investigate.
You know, if we had This is a whole nother thing. Here's what I want to talk about. Here's what I actually want to talk about this morning.
That's right.
Bill Maher. Bill Maher is one of those lefties that I am sick to death of hearing. Well, you got to respect him because at least he's been consistent.
But Chris, you have to respect him. At least he's been consistent.
He has been consistent. And I'm going to go back to a conversation Dad and I were having the other day. On this show, we made it a point not to dance on graves. We've made it a point in the past not to dance on graves. Cameron, you can stick to those guns if you want to. I'm done with it. When Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away, we towed this line. We held the line and said, "Look, it is uncouth. It is vulgar and unacceptable to celebrate the death of people." You know, when Rush Limbaugh passed away, the lefties were just dancing in the streets. Hell, you know, ding dong, the witch is dead type of crap. Oh yeah, he was such a obnoxious, hateful, evil person. No, he wasn't. Rush Limbaugh was an excellent human being. Did great work. And unlike you left twats, he did a lot of great philanthropy as well.
Everything from animal rights to research into children's cancer. The man raised and gave away millions and millions of dollars for everything from PETA to pediatric hospitals.
I was listening to his show one day, and I mean, put me in absolute tears. This lady called in to say, Rush, I was hoping I could get you to say congratulations to my son who's about to graduate from West Point. And Rush said, "No shit, when's the graduation?" And she told him the date, and he said, "That's awesome. I'm going to send you over 2 cases of my favorite cigars." I'm sure 2 cases of Rush's favorite cigars was no small change either.
Right.
I mean, the cigar Uncle Bobo got me when I graduated high school was a $100 cigar. So 2 cases of those for a West Point graduation ceremony, that's... yeah. So, when RGB passed, we, it was good to see that she was no longer occupying a seat and engaged in her vulgar, evil, and I mean absolutely evil, judicial activism. Judicial activism itself is an evil, but this was an evil weapon wielded by a person who was hell-bent on doing great evil. I'm done pretending like these people are not monsters. I'm done pretending like these people are better than, I'm done pretending that people like Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Thurgood Marshall.
What about him?
Well, he belongs in the same vein as RGB if we're going to talk about judicial activists for liberal causes.
Exactly. But Pelosi, Biden, people like that. I'm done pretending like these people are morally better than the Taliban child mutilators that I hunted in Afghanistan. They're morally the same. They're eugenicists. They're child murderers. They're monsters. So Bill Maher is one of these that every now and then says something and gets a little respect from people on the right. They're like, well, looks like one of these liberals isn't totally insane. No. Shit right up your nose. Bill Maher. Let me bring up the article from Fox News. Bill Maher rails against NFL over Black National Anthem. It's segregation under a different name. The HBO host reacts after NFL's inclusion of Lift Every Voice and Sing sparks a national debate. There is no debate. Lift Every Voice and Sing is not a national anthem, and there is no black national anthem. If you sing and say that it is a black national anthem, what you are is you are a racist. You are a vile, hateful, evil racist. You are no different than any Klan member. You are no different than any white supremacist. You are no different than any ethno-cleansing Nazi. You are a vile, disgusting, intolerable racist. And, because you're probably a Democrat that supports Planned Parenthood, a eugenicist, which doesn't surprise us at all about people on the far left. Real-time host Bill Maher blasted the NFL for playing 2 national anthems at Thursday night's season kickoff game between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Dallas Cowboys. And he says, to me, when people say to me sometimes like, boy, you really go after the left these days. Why? Because you're embarrassing me, Maher exclaimed. That's why I'm going after the left in a way you never did before. Because you're inverting things that I'm not going to give up on being liberal. This is what these teachers are talking about. You're taking children and making them hyper-aware of race in a way they wouldn't otherwise be. Maher, that is the thing that you have been championing and defending for your entire professional career. What the left is today is the house you built. Right? It's like when what's his face? The guy with the annoying voice, the fat Jewish guy with the annoying voice in a bunch of nightclubs, John something.
Nope, sorry.
Yeah, you definitely know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, but at the moment I'm brain farting.
He John something. It's L and it's not Lithgow. Anyway, he did this whole thing where he came out after Obama was elected. He's talking about raising taxes on us. I've got these. I'm already paying half. What do you mean fair share? I'm paying more than. He's in California. I'm paying more than half. Yes, that's what you voted for, fat ass. That was the plan all along. So Maher is one of these people who, for the past several decades, has been on board selling the lie, this idea that the parties switched sides, that somehow the Democrats were the conservatives, and that's why we had segregation. No, we had Democrats in power, segregation. Then we had a civil rights movement where we sought to end segregation, and the Democrat Party, to a man, voted against it where available, opposed it. And then, so I mean, when did you switch? When did the sides switch? Did they switch in the late 50s, early 60s, when the Republicans desegregated the South? Well, no, that's not when it happened, because if that were when it happened, then it wouldn't have been a Democrat president that passed Don't Ask, Don't Tell. It wouldn't have been a Republican president that was the first president in history to ever run for office without running on the platform of protected traditional marriage. And here we are, the liberals, the leftists, the Democrats have taken command of the universities, of the government, of the churches. They've taken command of all the major levers of power. And where is it going? It's going exactly where you would expect it to go. It's going to segregation and eugenics. That a pure race created through separation, segregation, and the extermination of the least wanted. Like, for example, making it a point to provide taxpayer-funded abortions to the poor and most especially underfunded black communities, which was always the plan from Margaret Sanger from the word go. The entire objective of the Democrat, and it's not a white supremacy thing. It's an eliminate the most expensive people and make slaves of the rest. It just so happens that in the effort to seek a permanent voter block through the use of racial identity politics, the Democrats have created a poverty class, which there are as many poor white people on welfare as there are poor black people on welfare, but the poor black people on welfare have been have been serviced to, have been, God, what's the word I'm looking for?
Conditioned?
Not conditioned. Yes, but damn it. I lost a word.
Well, look.
Anyway, the poor blacks have basically been conditioned into being a voter bloc, and have propped up the infinite progression of the progressive Democrats and their absolute, with malice aforethought, intended maneuver. Pandered. Thank you, Steve. They've been pandered to. And that's part of the brainwashing technique. Krista says groomed.
Yikes.
Yes.
That's
a very good word for this particular conversation. That's exactly right. They've been groomed to be poor, to be dependent, and to vote Democrat. They've been groomed to vote for programs like Planned Parenthood, which are designed to exterminate them, right? You look at poor American Democrat voting blacks, and what you're seeing are Jews voting for gas chambers.
So, okay.
And that's what you've built, Bill Maher. That's what your career has amounted to. That has been the result of your work. And the reason that this is so infuriating is that for the entirety of your career, we have been explaining to shitbags like you that this is the objective toward which you are working. Even if you think you're doing something else. You know, if what you think you're doing is mixing orange juice and vodka to make a screwdriver, and you plan on using that screwdriver to install a ceiling fan, when I come and tell you that what you're really doing is just turning the wheel left and right on the car that you're driving and you're going to run into the ditch, just because you're a delusional idiot doesn't keep your dumb ass out of that ditch.
Okay. You segued into a point I've been trying to make for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, sorry.
Now.
I'm sure you'd like to speak some this morning, and I apologize for that. But I'm not going to be here for a couple of days, so,
right.
do your due.
Okay, so what you just brought up I think is really important. And it goes back even to the use of the word liberal. You could argue that guys like you and I, in the classic definition of the word liberal, are in fact liberal. We want the minimum government involvement. We want the personal liberty and all of that. And older leftists like Bill Maher are going to say that that is what they mean when they say that they're liberal. There are certain things they want the freedom to be able to do. Now, you are correct. This is probably the closest thing we can compare it to in modern times is Obamacare. We were selling insurance at the time, and we were trying to tell people, so no, you can't force insurance companies to sell products to people they don't want to sell products to and have their prices go down. Their prices will go up. I promise. That's how actuarial math works.
Well, it was the whole, pre-existing conditions, that's discrimination. Yes, it absolutely is. And let me tell you something, discrimination is a good thing. Discrimination is the difference between eating steak and a turd sandwich.
There's probably
It's literally the difference. If you're presented with steak and a turd sandwich, you discriminate between them and select the one that is the better choice.
So, but I guess what I'm driving at is, just like with Obamacare, we tried to tell people, no, this is not going to make prices go down. This is going to make prices go up. And it's going to penalize people on the lower end of the income spectrum far more than it's going to penalize people on the higher end of the income spectrum. Because people with money can afford to take the hit. And people with good salaries probably have already got health care through their job anyway. It's going to be the people that have, have income problems that are going to get hit by it. And then they were all shocked. Like, I've told the story before about...
No. We told you what was going to happen.
And then
we told you a lot.
And then they were all shocked. I remember bumping into a guy that was like, hey, I voted for Obama, but this is not what I voted for. And I remember just telling him, so, well, what did you think you were voting for? When guys like me said, no, this is not going to work. The math is bad. You are wrong. So, I guess the question is, yes, we can sit here and we can laugh at Bill Maher, and we can have entire shows where, we say, hey, stupid, we tried to tell you that you were making a deal with the devil, and, my bad, Faust, he stabbed you in the back, whoops. So, How do we take it as an opportunity to educate? To go, look.
I don't know, but when you got somebody who's walking, who's like, brother, dude, I get it. You can microwave a hot dog and it'll be ready for lunch, but you're about to stick your dick in a toaster. I know you think you're doing the right thing, but you're not.
See, but that's I do think, and
Don't
Steve
stick
says,
your dick in a toaster.
I have not stuck my dick in a toaster in quite some time. Thank you very much.
.com.
.com. Oh dear. Wow, you derailed me hard there. Okay.
And don't try to put a ferret in your ass either.
Look.
So you're not like gerbils.
Just like Steve. Just like Steve says, he wants his damn word back. Okay, all right. In taking words back, all right.
Steve says, now that's a unique analogy.
Okay. All right. I swear I'm gonna get there. I swear. Wow. Okay. What I'm trying to say is, just like Obama and that whole Obamacare thing in particular gave us a... Oh, and now the chat. God, I love you guys. Okay, just like Obama and Obamacare gave us a fantastic opportunity, like there are people that voted for Obama and they did it with the best intentions, okay? And then but they did, okay? And then they became some of the most fervent converts to conservatism, to libertarianism, to classic liberalism, whatever you want to call it. I mean, there were some 8 million people that voted for Trump that also voted for Obama, okay? And I guarantee you, those are diehard Trump supporters. So how do we take advantage of things like this with guys like Bill Maher? I mean, sure, it's easy to take the victory lap, but how do we advance the cause and the narrative? Because here's the truth. He's right. Okay, all this does.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna. Since we haven't had one yet this morning, I'm gonna give Krista the top comment for her eggplant mode.
Because the truth is he's right. Professional football is already in a lot of trouble, and shit like this is only going to make it worse. Because things like professional sports are supposed to be an escape. I'm supposed to be able to just turn everything off and watch a ball game. That's the point. Okay? Oh, anyhow.
Krista said boner toast and we were done.
I give up. You guys know what I'm getting at here. We could take, somehow there's a way to take advantage of the fact that Bill Maher's right. That he's wrong about one thing, though. We're not the bad guys. Oh, Bill.
Bill, you were always the bad guys.
You just didn't know. And that's the thing. That's the cycle of the brainwashing, making the kids hyper-aware of race. You get them young, you get them emotional, and then they're lifelong converts.
Yeah.
That's what happened to Bill.
Well, like, we're both smokers, right? We're both smokers. I'm a pretty heavy smoker, in all fairness. And the truth of the matter is this: I started smoking when I was about 14 years old. Back then I like to have a cigar with my whiskey or my beer. We'd go and get some cold beers and stash them in the snowdrift, go box and have a cigar on the railroad tracks or cold beers back in Maine, right? And and I picked up smoking cigarettes when I was working in kitchens, 15, 16 years old. And I quit for a while when we were about to have our first baby, and then I went to Afghanistan. I got bored, but quite simply, I picked up smoking when I was a kid. And I know it's bad for me, but I've been smoking for 25, 26 years now. And so it's a lot like being a Democrat. You get hooked. You hook them while they're young. Just like the tobacco company, you market to people who are too dumb and too emotional to make rational, intelligent decisions. Because if you wait to get your message to them for when their brains are fully developed and they have rational self-interest, There's a reason Democrats never run on what they're going to do. Right? Biden is a great example. You take everything Biden has done since he's been coronated.
The most secure election ever.
And I can point to him on a stage within the last 2 years saying that he would absolutely not do the thing that he is doing right now. That goes for the mask mandates, that goes for the mandatory vaccine plan, that goes for the botch on the Afghanistan withdrawal, that goes for, within 30 days of his inauguration, we lost fuel independence because he did exactly the thing he said he would not do, and that is he shut down oil production in this country. He shut down the Keystone Pipeline. He is literally doing everything that he said he absolutely would not do. Now, in fairness, he also promised to do all of those things at one point in the campaign as well. So
he doesn't remember, though.
No. At least Obama knew he was lying to you. All right, I think
Joe
that's
Biden's
the show.
a little more dependable. See, it's a bad joke because
No, it's a pretty good joke. I might have gone with dependent.
Anyhow,
but you're right. Either way, he's a puppet that shits his pants. So yeah. All right, y'all be safe out there, and I will see you. I might be able to sneak on the show tomorrow or Thursday. We'll have to see how the technology shakes out across the gap. But yeah, y'all be safe out there. I will see you Friday morning. He will see you tomorrow and Thursday. We love you. Y'all be good. I think we heard him this morning. We need to do more of that. My butt's been wiped.